Hello, hello, hello. Happy Monday. I'm just pulling up my stats on my computer. God, y'all, I just got off the best call. I'm going to be the keynote speaker for women in manufacturing, women in defense, and there's another group. Anyways, they're coming together and they're putting together a like a spring fling, and I'm going to be their keynote speaker, and I'm super excited. Yeah, I love to pour into women. You guys and gals know me. You know that about me. So I want to talk about some fun facts that I think most of you know, but I want to make sure you know them. You know, you hear me talk about helping women build an empire, bridging the wealth gap. That there is a very definite wealth gap between men and women, and I want to tell you some of the reasons why, and then some of the things I think that we can do to close the gap. So I'm actually on my website, lisacopeland.com, and I'm going to give you some stats from women and U.S. spending. So women make up half of the U.S. population and control 85% of the consumer spending. Now, what does it mean, and why do we control 85% of it? Because we're the decision makers. I don't know about y'all, but my husband doesn't buy anything without talking to me. I buy everything without talking to him. But he's like, what do you think? Should we buy it? Should we do this? Should we do that? La, 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 la. So even though we're only half, a little bit more than half of the US population, we're 85% of the influence, the decision makers, right? The purchasing power of women in the US ranges from 5 trillion to 15 trillion annually. So think about the things that we're in control of: the family budget, education, healthcare, schools, personal spending, automotive, like, nothing's, what insurance companies we use, like nothing's happening in my house that I don't put my seal of approval on. And I know a lot of you women are like that too. So if you are, and you're catching this on the replay or you're watching it live, just go ahead and put it in the comments if you are in control of your family's household budget. And the women don't necessarily make all the money, but they spend all the money. And I don't mean spend like frivolously. I mean, they are in control of how the family budget is spent and how it's allocated. Whether you're wealthy, whether you're not wealthy, whatever that looks like. Women control more than 60% of all personal wealth in the US. And I'm getting these stats off of lisacopeland.com, and then go under real estate her way, and you'll see all my stats in there. Women control 60% of all personal wealth in the US. Why do we control it? We may not have it. Why do we control it? We control our household. We control our parents sometimes, our aging parents. Sometimes we help our children with their decisions, right? So there's a lot of reasons why we control the wealth, even if we don't own the wealth. Women purchase over 50% of traditional male products, including automobiles, home improvement products, and consumer electronics. Okay, that's interesting, right? So things that you think that men are buying, women are buying. I mean, go into Home Depot on a Saturday, there's as many women as there are men, if not more. All right, and she's out buying all the things she needs for her DIY project. Let's see, approximately 40% of US women are now out earn their husbands. And I got that stat from the US Bureau of Labor and Statistics. So 40% of us make more money than our husbands, right? But there's still a $1 million wealth gap between men and women. Why is that? Why? It makes me crazy. Why is that? Okay. Look at these stats. Consumer purchases by women. Now, guys and gals, I'm getting this off of lisacopeland.com under real estate her way. I've got all these stats on there if you want to take pictures of them. 91% of new homes are purchased by women, meaning that they have the controlling decision as to whether that home is going to get bought. So whether it's a wife, a girlfriend, a parent, a sibling, a daughter or a son, we as women control overall, holistically, 91% of new home sales. But there's a $1 million wealth gap. How come? We control consumer purchases by women that we are controlling decisions of, 65% cars, 89% of bank accounts, and 80% of healthcare. And I would have to say healthcare's got to be higher than 80%, but those are the stats. And most importantly, women are the largest referral source in the world. You do a good job for a woman, she's going to tell everybody. She's going to put it on her social media. She's going to tell her friends at Bunko. She's going to tell the neighbors. She's going to shout it from the mountaintops. Think about what great referral sources we are. When I like somebody and I like their business and they've done me the right way, you guys have seen it. You're my audience. You see what I do. I go out and I blow it. I blow on them. I blow it from the mountaintops, right? But to the other side of that is, if you make us mad, we can also be your worst enemy. So that's one of the reasons to your business, if you're out there and you're watching this and you have a business that caters to anybody, women are your most important consumer. We are. Because if you take care of her, she is going to take care of you. And she's going to help build your business. Whereas men go in to buy a car, for example, to get the best deal possible. Best deal. He will go back to work. I wrote a book about this, Car Buying Her Way. He'll go back to work and he'll tell all of his buddies, I bought a car yesterday. I beat the car salesman up. I got $10,000 off, blah, 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 blah. That's what's going to happen. If I have a good dealership experience, I'm going to go in, I'm going to go tell my friends, I met the most amazing salesperson. I got the best car. He took care of me, la, 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 la. And I probably won't talk about what I paid for the car. Now, with my background and experience, I got a good deal. That I can assure you. But I don't go talk about it because I don't really care about as much about that. That's just something I do naturally is I negotiate. But I do care about how I'm treated and how I feel when I'm doing business with somebody. You know, how somebody makes me feel during the transaction. Did I feel important? Did I feel heard? Did I feel catered to? Did I feel like I was the greatest client in the dealership, or when someone's trying to sell me something? So that's really important. So women are your largest referral source. Every fifth adult in the United States is a female over 50. So all these stats are coming from my website, lisacopeland.com. Go under Real Estate Her Way and you'll see all these stats. So 1 in 5 adults in the US is a female over 50. Hear us roar. Does that not make us the most important consumer in the world? It does, because data doesn't lie, right? And the data is with us on this one. 50 plus American women are the healthiest, wealthiest, and most active generation of women in history. I'm over 50. I feel pretty good. I have a lot more money now than I did when I was 30 or 40. So I guess I would fall into that, right? And I do worry about my health, and I spend money on my health, and all my friends spend money on their health. And yeah, it's what we do. It's like we want to age in reverse, right? I want to know what I know now when I'm 100. And I wish I would have known what I know now when I was 30. Women, 50 plus women control a net worth of $19 trillion. Okay. Doesn't mean we possess it. Okay. I don't necessarily possess $19 trillion, but my kids call me when they're making a major financial decision most of the time. My mother calls me when she's making a financial decision. My husband talks to me when we're making a financial decision. My friends talk to me when they make financial decisions. So that's what I mean by control. Like, I'm controlling the outcome of those financial decisions because of my influence I have over those groups of people. Let's see. Over the next decade, women will control 2/3 of consumer wealth in the United States and be the beneficiary of the largest transference of wealth in our country's history. Estimates range from $12 to $40 trillion. Now, many boomer women will experience a double inheritance windfall when both parents and husbands will die. I'll tell you what, Sharon Lechter gave an insane stat at 10X Ladies, and it was 80% of women will die alone, and 80% of men will die married. So flip that back. 80% of men will die married. 80% of women will die alone. Like, let that sink in, ladies. Why? Because he goes out and finds another one when we're gone. That's just how it is. And women tend to not do that. And so a wealthy woman can go from being wealthy to literally borderline poverty with just an event like a death or a divorce, because they have not planned well enough. They don't have the earning power. They don't know what kind of assets their husbands have, what they've done with their assets. Anyways, that's probably for another Zoom that I'll do. Once college bills are paid, women 50 plus spend 2.5 times what the average person spends and are the primary buyers of computers, cars, banking, and financial services. You notice how it's once college bills are paid. You know, I paid for my kids to go to college. I think it was a good decision. Neither one of them live in my basement. They're both gainfully employed with six-figure jobs. I'm very glad they went to college. My husband and I did not want them to graduate with college debt. Was it a sacrifice? Sure. Absolutely it was, you know, but we felt like it was worth it, because you always want to put your kids out the best way you can, right? And you want to line them up for success. But once that big bill goes away, you know, we had 8 years of it. Once that big bill goes away, now you're kind of breathing again. And that's when women really start to spend the money. And these are 50 plus women. Wealthy boomer women are the marquee players in our country's culture and commerce. They are educated, have high income, and make 95% of the purchase decisions for their households. Over 30 million women 50 plus are the fastest growing demographic online. That's, you know what we're doing? We're shopping, we're posting, we're tweeting, we're reading blogs. It's like, I think about when I turned 50, it was kind of like my whole world opened up, you know? My kids were raised, all their college was paid for. You know, I mean, I got to the point where it was like a sweet spot in my life, right? Everything I'd worked hard for to put everybody else first, that was all done. Now we get to put ourselves first, ladies. Over 30 million women. Oh, I'm sorry, I wrote down that one. Women 50 plus spend on an average 250% of what the population in general does. We spend money, honey. We are good consumer shoppers. We spend money on health and on beauty and on gifts and on other people. Hey, Kim. Yeah, right. Let's go, ladies. Right? I mean, we are just the most powerful consumer on the planet. And baby boomer women spend upwards of $20 billion a year on clothing. Now, if you were to talk to my husband, he would tell you I probably hit those numbers, especially between shoes and purses. But you know what? I've earned it. And I work hard, just like all you gals work hard. And so, you know, as we're talking about, by 2030, women in the US are projected to control as much as 30 trillion in financial assets. And so, ladies, my audience, my friends, my followers, my clients, all of you, like, what are we going to do with that? There's only so many Chanel purses we can have. There's only so much of this or that we can have. Like, we have got to be smart and start investing in real estate. The only way to build your empire is in real estate. Now, minus having a big exit from a company or inheriting a lot of money, the average person like you and me, the only real way to build true wealth is in real estate. And to store your money, you know, you make your money, you store it, and then you spend it. Okay. And what do you spend it on? You put it into an asset that cash flows. It's got to cash flow. If it doesn't cash flow day one, don't do it. Do not do it. Do not think, well, you know, a year from now it'll cash flow, or a year from now the market will come back, or a year from now that location is going to be better than it was today. No, it won't. Okay. When you're looking for cash flow properties and cash flow assets, your number one determining factor, number one, never compromise, never compromise, never compromise, never compromise, is location. Never compromise. Right into the chat, never compromise. Because if you compromise on your location, you will never, ever see that asset appreciate or do what it could truly do. Okay. So number one is location, location, location. And you want to find something, you don't want your money sitting in the bank. My good friend Grant Cardone talks about, go to broke, go to broke, go to broke. Meaning you make a bunch of money, you store it, and then you put it into a cash flow asset of some sort. Okay. And you make it again, you store it until you have enough money to put into a cash flow asset. And I'll tell you what, ever since I started doing that, my life has changed. Having cash flow every month is freedom. It's freedom. You can talk about wealth and you can talk about that. That's great. Okay. But it's freedom. When you can build, when your money, when your incoming income, your passive income exceeds your outgoing income, that's freedom. My dear friend Sharon Lecter wrote the book, Rich Dad, Poor Dad. The whole premise of the book, when your incoming income exceeds your outgoing income, then you're rich. Okay. And you don't have to be rich to do that. But you've got to get into a place where you have got passive income. And I wish I would have learned this lesson at 30 years old instead of 50. Okay. But I'm in a position now where my incoming income, my passive income exceeds my outgo. So when I have a bad month, it sucks. And it really sucks more so just because I'm so competitive, right? I like to win. You guys see me. I'm always posting stats. I look at stats. I look at numbers. That's just the car business in me, I think. But so I like to win because I like to win and I like to win for my clients. But really where the freedom came for me and for my husband is when we started following what Grant Cardone taught us. And that is make the money, store the money, stash the money, cash flow. Make it, store it. I mean, you have to keep it somewhere until you have enough to make the investment. Then you stash it in that cash flow investment and then you don't look back. And I do. I've got a lot of properties now that I could sell if I had to. Your goal needs to be, ladies, to go to zero. So that when people try to borrow money from you, you're like, I'm broke. I don't have any cash. I'm asset rich, but I'm cash poor. And that's like a hard thing to do for people like us. But the Dave Ramsey, you got to have 6 months, 3 months, blah, 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 blah. No, you just got to have assets. Okay. Because if you've got assets that cash flow, you won't have a bad month. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter what the economy is doing. People always have to have somewhere to live. Or we just bought an office building. And we have some big tenants on big leases, right? They're always going to have some place to do business. So if you truly want to get out from under the government and you want to get out from inflation and you want to get out from fear and you want to create some freedom in your life and you maybe want to quit that 9-to-5 job, okay? You got to get into real estate. I've got some great tools I can show you. I'm happy to do that. I'm happy to help you find something. Right now, real estate assets are on sale, which I love. Stuff is cheap. In fact, today I was in the MLS. I'm going to give you these stats. This is the Austin MLS. Hold on, I sent it to my clients because we're dropping the price on their house, which I need to post about, by the way. Okay. In Austin, Texas, we've got, as of today, 718 new listings, but price decreases of 1,106. Okay. Prices are coming down. Turn off the news. The news lies. Prices are coming down. It's time to buy the asset. And I'm listening to this amazing book by the guy who started Blackstone. Oh my God, it's so good. Elena Cardone told me to read it. And it's called What It Takes by Steven Schwartzman. You guys can see I'm on like chapter 15. I can't even put the book down. I'm doing my hair. I'm listening to the book. I'm in the car. I'm listening to the book. Man, this guy, and I don't like Blackstone and BlackRock. And now I know why there's two different entities, by the way. But I like this guy. And why I don't like them is because I think that they're buying up the whole U.S. housing market and they're going to turn the whole country into renters, which I have a problem with. But you know what? He's outplayed everybody. But this book is life. It is life when you talk about investing, when to get in and out of markets, especially, which is what Blackstone does. And he says the time to get back in the market is when after a dip, which we have seen the dip, And he said, don't get in at the very bottom of the dip. Wait for it to trend up at least 10%. If it has trended up 10%, you're going to lose that 10%, okay, hypothetically. But then you know you're on an upward trajectory. And that is Blackstone's investment strategy. So I'm like, if it's good enough for them. And then also never, ever lose money. You know, business number, don't ever lose money, right? It's never okay to lose money. So takeaways for today. Women 50 plus, we are the most powerful consumer on planet Earth. What we do matters. Own it, ladies. Live it, own it. Number 2, only way to build wealth, true generational wealth, is in real estate. All right? 100 different ways to get in. Just call me. I'll talk you through it. Number 3, do not, let's see, number 3, do not buy anything that is not, number 2 or 3, do not buy anything that is not in an absolute primo location. Ever, ever, ever. I don't care what the price is. Pay more to get into a primo location. It's okay. It'll catch up. Don't buy at the very bottom of the market. Buy as you start to see a swing up by 10%. That's the chairman of Blackstone. And that is their go-to-market strategy. Take your bank account down to broke, because then people can't borrow money from you, right? Store it, stash it, invest it. Make it, store it at the bank or stash it, and then invest it. And invest it in something that is cash flow positive. And never, ever, ever get into a deal where you're cash flow negative. Don't do it. Because there's a lot of other deals around the corner. Anyways, I hope that this helps somebody today. I just want to encourage you. You know, we got heavily into this investing game about 8 years ago. And it's freedom. You know, it's freedom. I don't have to sell another piece of real estate if I don't want to, because I've put myself in a position with real estate not to have to do that. And now I want to teach all of you how to do the very same thing. And I didn't have a lot of money to invest in the beginning, but I've made a lot of money along the way investing in real estate, right? And so I just want all of you, everyone who follows me, everyone who encourages me, everyone who has cheered me on for all my years and all of my careers, car business, insurance, real estate, mortgage. You guys have been so good to me. All you guys and gals, you've been so good to me. You guys love on me. You encourage me. You do everything. And now I want to show you how to build generational wealth. I want to show you how to make all the money that you can make. I want to show you how to have freedom, where you put your head on your pillow at night and you don't have to answer to the man anymore, right? And that doesn't mean that I can go out and buy yachts and jets like my dear friends, but I live a really good life. And I live a life of peace and of freedom. And when there's peace and freedom, there's happiness. And I want that for every one of you. So you may not live in Central Texas. I get it. But I've got 1,000 agents across the country who are absolute ballers. I can get you with an agent anywhere in the country, and start mapping out your plan. Now is the time. I gave you guys the MLS stats. And if you came into this thing late, go back and re-listen to it. So I gave you some stats that are like, whoa. But in the Austin MLS, 1,105 price reductions in the last 30 days. So the assets are on sale. And all the women love a good sale. Anyways, I hope you guys are having a great Monday. If I could ever be of service, please let me know. Thanks for always tuning in. Thanks for always encouraging me and supporting me in everything that I do. And now I want to support you and help you build generational wealth. Bye, everybody.